What is going on? Solutions for sellers, doers. How are we doing? We're doing a little bit of a different type of training. Typically, on our Sunday segments, we have our posts that start at 8 o'clock, and typically it's anywhere from like 8 to 10 posts, posting every 3 minutes. And then I show up live around 8:30, and I was going to hang out with you guys, and I was going to answer your questions, and I was going to give you 3 best strategies to help you book out your holiday calendar ASAP. Not next week, next month, ASAP. Basically, I'm going to give you really good tips here that have worked for hundreds and hundreds of direct sellers that we've trained over the years. And we're going to make it really simple. So if you guys are excited, comment below. I'm excited to dive in. Let me just tell you right now, it's October 22nd, and we are still in the early stages. Okay. If you feel like you don't have anything on the books right now, maybe business is kind of weird for you right now, that's okay, because this is the perfect time to get started. This is the perfect time to get yourself rolling and get your calendar booked. So if you're brand new here, I know we had a ton of new people join the group over the last couple weeks. Want to make sure I introduce myself. My name is Janet Parks. I'm the CEO and founder of Solutions for Sellers. We help online sellers like yourself simplify their processes and simplify the way that they post online so that they can stand out and grow their business. That is our jam here. This is what we like to teach direct sellers how to do. Mini story, I started this community in 2019, a few months after I joined my very first direct sales business in late 2018. I had just left corporate America. I became a stay-at-home mom, and I needed something for me. Moms out there who have that experience of maybe coming home, being a stay-at-home mom, you're not used to that. Holla at me, because that was a rough one for me. But over time, I started learning about just the fact that there were so many people in my community that needed help. There really weren't a lot of people that were teaching how to book parties and how to make it efficient. In the company that I was with at the time, didn't necessarily provide a ton of tools that were easy to use, that allowed the average person to just launch themselves and create a successful business, right? I was one of those that, did their launch party, and it was like, okay, time to go figure it out on your own now. So that wasn't really fun. So comment below, what company are you with? How long have you been in your direct sales business? And anyway, that's why I started this group. Essentially, I started it February of 2019. And at the time, I was just posting every week, and I was sharing strategies that was working for me, because I couldn't find the trainings. I couldn't find the resources. Nobody taught me how to book parties. I had sales experience, so that was helpful, but I didn't know how to do it. I was so afraid of live video. That was a huge fear of mine, but I did it anyway because I was gaining a lot of success very quickly. And so I was just sharing it, and people were getting a ton of success, and then it turned into this big thing, and now we're a brand. And so this is what we do every single week on Sundays. We have a training that is industry related, depending on what the training's about or what you guys need. Typically, I like to ask you, what are you guys struggling with? I'll create a training around it, right? And so we made it very community focused. And so that's what I think what we have is very unique here, is like, we like to hang out, we like to talk, we like to go through the struggles and try to find solutions for them. And that's what we have here at Solutions for Sellers. So there's my quick story for our new people. If you're brand new to the community, let me know, comment with the word new. Tonight, as I mentioned, I'm not going to make this a super long training. I just want to share with you the 3 best strategies in my experience, and after teaching hundreds and hundreds of students over the years. These are like tried and true. These are tried and true strategies that are going to help you get your holiday booked. If you think you're too late, you're not. October 22nd, we're cutting it a little close to November, right? But that's okay. This is the time where you can get yourself buckled in, okay? Get yourself focused, and then really utilize these strategies. And as I mentioned, okay, you guys have probably gotten my emails if you're on my email list, or if you're on my text list. Maybe some of you guys got that, and that's why you're here right now, right? I'm going to give you these 3 strategies, And if you can roll with it and you can take it out there into the world and book your calendar, fantastic. Go do that. And I hope that that's going to be helpful for you. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Like I said, I don't want to make this a super long training. We're going to go ahead and get started with the 3 best strategies to book your holiday season. And I really want you to take note of these because these are tried and true. These are tried and true strategies. You just have to get out of your own head and get after it. You have time if you start. Tomorrow's Monday. Tomorrow is a brand new day. Okay. Whoever is procrastinating here and thinking, oh, it's just going to fall in my lap. It's not going to fall in your lap, friend to friend. It's not. You need to go get it. If people aren't showing up to your lives, you need to go get it. If people aren't interacting in your VIP group, you need to go get it, right? Last week, we did a live training. We talked about until, right? We keep going until. We don't just keep going. And if it doesn't work, oh, well, we tried. That's not how we work here, right? We keep going until. If this message is resonating with you, then you needed to hear it. Okay. And you have time. That's the best part is you have plenty of time. You've got 9 days in the month of October. There's plenty of time for you if you just hit the ground running. So here's going to be my 3 tips for you. Okay. Or my 3 strategies. Number 1. Okay. The number 1 best strategy, in my opinion, okay, and this is somebody who's, man, I've booked a ton of parties in my lifetime, okay, tons of parties. And one of my go-to strategies, if I wasn't booking parties from my current parties, which is a strategy that you really do need to learn, okay, never go into your month with a 0. Always go into your month at least with 2 to 4 bookings, because then you have opportunity pools that you can pull from when you're actually in those parties, right? And then you never run out of booking. But number 1 is revisit old party groups. Revisit your old party groups. Okay. I never would just delete the groups. I don't even think there's an option to delete groups, honestly, right? You can archive them, I think, but I don't ever just get rid of them. These party groups are great because for those of us that are like, I don't have any leads. Yeah, you do. If you've ever hosted a party in your lifetime and you did it on Facebook and there's a Facebook group that is available, and if you had 10, 15, 20 people in that group, that is a great starting point for you to start messaging people. Okay. That is a fantastic starting point. For those of you that say, well, what if they think I'm being Spamela Anderson? What if, they say no? They might say no, right? But you don't know until you ask. And it's not spammy to give people that have opted in. And I want you to hear this because some of you really need to hear this, okay? It is not spammy to reach out to people who have opted in the past, okay? If they opt into your email list, guess what? They're a lead. If they opt into your Facebook group, guess what? They're a lead. If they like your post, if they leave a comment on your post, if they're watching your content, those are leads, okay? It's the same thing in these past party groups. They opted in at one point, which means that there was interest. If not, they would have just said, I'm not interested, and they would just not opt in. So I want you to allow yourself to reach out to these people, okay? So reach out to that. I did that and the host told me to stop posting because your party was over. The host doesn't run your business though, right? I'm going to say some controversial stuff, but your host, that she doesn't run your business. She can't tell you what to do. That's just bottom line. If a host is like, oh, don't message them. This is your business. They opted in. Okay. So even if you don't post in the Facebook group, that's fine. I'm not even talking about posting in your past groups. I'm talking about reaching out to them individually. You're just offering the opportunity to host. Hey, Jessica, hope you've been doing well. I know you were a part of Chelsea's party a couple months ago. Just wanted to pop in really quickly because I know you purchased X, Y, and Z. Just wanted to let you know in case you were interested. I've got this new fall catalog that just launched, and I'm looking for a few hostesses. I'm actually going to be giving away some freebies for the next 5 ladies that book a date with me in November. Just wanted to throw it out there. If not, no biggie, but would you be interested? Right? Now that's not maybe the best script, but that was the one I just came out of my cabeza, my brain, right? So you see how simple that is? You're just asking, right? That's it. We're going to make it simple. We're not going to let Huda Wuddy get in the way. We're not going to let whoever get in the way. If a hostess has a problem, to me, that's her personal problem, because it's not like you're in her, if it's not like you're in people's inbox and you're spamming them. You're just asking. And if they say no, okay, no biggie. I hope you like your products, right? And you should be following up with your customers anyway if they've purchased with you. So you should have some sort of a relationship, right? And if they haven't purchased, by the way, you can reach out to them too. I know you didn't have an opportunity to purchase this past time. Just wanted to let you know we got this new fall catalog. I know you opted in at one point. Just wanted to throw it out there. I think you're really going to like what's in this catalog. Would you be interested in hosting? If not, no biggie. And if not, if they're not interested in hosting, okay, well, would you be interested if I sent you a link so you can take a look at the new catalog? That's you taking care of people, right? You're taking care of your people. You're not spamming anybody. So, and the reason why I'm really honing in on the whole spam idea, guys, is because, I mean, I have group coaching students. I have one-on-one clients, and this is like the number one thing. There is a fear out there of spamming. You're not spamming. You're asking a question and you're putting the ball in their court. The worst that can happen is them say, no, thank you. I appreciate you offering. Okay, great. Awesome. At least you asked. Okay. But anyway, number one, that is my number one thing. Revisit your old party groups, because there are people in there. They opted in at one point, which means if they opt into anything with you, that means that they're going to be opted in to receiving a message from you. That is just great customer service. Okay. So I want you to release yourself from that. Okay. All right. Number two, host a booking blitz. Host a booking blitz. Who's ever hosted a booking blitz before? Do you guys know what a booking blitz is? Last week, was it last weekend that we did that event? I think it was last weekend. Some of y'all that are new have been joining the group and finding the older posts. If you want to, feel free to look at last week's post. You'll be able to see they're all like dated and they're numbered. We did a whole thing on how to book parties like a pro. And we honed in on a booking blitz, and there's a post in there. I think some of you guys were commenting on it tonight because it moved up to the feed. There's some great posts in there to give you guys some ideas. So a booking blitz, essentially, Allison says that she loves booking blitz. Yes. Here's what's cool about a booking blitz. A booking blitz basically is when you're sitting down and your full intention of your DMO, like your daily method of operation that day, is to book parties. Okay. And because that's your focus, that is all you're doing. You are booking parties. So it's called a booking blitz. Typically, this can be fast paced, but you would do it in a sense of like, basically you're sitting down, you're going to pick out the places where you're going to find your next hostesses. And then you're going to just start reaching out until you book your parties. My rule of thumb, I teach the 2x2 booking system, where essentially your goal is to just book 2 parties. That's your goal, right? For those of you that want to do more than that, go for it. But typically, that's like my bottom line goal is I'm going to message until I have 2 bookings for November. Because then when I have those parties, then my focus is to continue to use the 2x2 booking system in those 2 parties. 2 here, 2 here. So that turns into 4. And then I have those 4. And then I book 2, 2, 2, 2. And what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 8, y'all. But do you understand? Like, you just keep going until, and that's the goal. So a booking blitz allows you to sit down for a period of time. For me, it was 60 minutes. I would sit down and I would send as many messages as I can. Obviously, go at a good pace because Facebook doesn't like when you send too many at the same time. So just slow down if you need to. Take breaks in between, okay? But the goal is just to book parties, okay? And I gave you guys a freebie. It should have some scripts on there for you to use. So go find it. If you just type in the group booking blitz, you'll see the post and then you'll be able to download that for free if you haven't. Okay. So go grab it. There's literally like 4 or 5 scripts in there that you can use. Okay. I have the hardest time booking off of a party. Well, this is the part where, right. Let's talk about this. Okay. Why are you having a hard time booking off a party? I don't mean to like single you out, by the way. I'm wanting to just chat about this. You need to have a tool belt of strategies. You cannot just go in with one strategy and think that that's just going to end all be all. I would go in with multiple. I would have Deal or No Deal. Sometimes I would play the Match It booking game, which was, I didn't have to go live. I just made a post and people would play the matching game and it would just go bananas. And there was a girl here a couple weeks ago that booked 4 parties off of that Match It booking game, right? I would do live bingo, right? Or Jeopardy. I would do the gift bag booking game. That was like an annual thing that I did, right? Because it kind of gave me the excuse to give things away, but also to book parties at the same time. So you always want to have multiple strategies. Always have multiple strategies. And then the people that don't show up to the live, message everybody else. Hey, so sorry you missed the live last night. Just wanted to pop in really quickly. We still have a couple gifts left that need to be given away. If you're willing to host a quick 2-day event online, I'd love to be able to get you in one of those spots. Would you want to redeem this prize, right? It's also your wordplay, right? You don't just, sometimes when you're using that same language that's overused, like the word party and things like that, sometimes it just turns people off. Like some people just have biases over it. So if you play around with the wording a little bit, right? Like, would you like to redeem this booking prize? I would say that a lot. And people are like, ooh, I get a prize for booking, right? However, if you change that terminology a little bit and get creative with your wordplay, but if you play around with it, people are going to see it a little differently. Sometimes if you just say something to somebody in a different way, it'll register and then they're going to want to do it. So just get creative. Sometimes you just have to get creative. And it's very smart, by the way. If you're using scripts and languages and you're finding that it's not landing, it's smart to just take it, peel it apart, and then just switch it up a little bit, right? For those of us that are kind of like sticklers with doing the same thing the same way for a long time, you need to adjust. Sometimes you just got to get out of that habit of doing the same thing the same way, especially if you're not getting any results. Sometimes you got to switch it up. Maybe it's the wordplay, maybe it's the way you're asking, right? So yes, the words we use create a sense of urgency. Absolutely. Yes. And that's really the bottom line. If you can create a sense of urgency where somebody has to act, right? You give them the opportunity to act, then people are either going to jump on board or they're not. And I would much rather get somebody says, I'm so sorry, I just don't have time, versus somebody who just flat out ignores me. You know what I mean? So that wordplay is important, but hosting a booking blitz is one of the most effective ways that you can book your calendar right now. Right now. You can book it right now. If you decided to, it's a little late now. Some of you guys are on Central and Pacific though, right? So honestly, if you can get off this live and get to booking and use my scripts, you could do it by yourself if you wanted to, right? So number 2 is hosting a booking blitz. Number 3, okay? Number 3, all right? This is the scary one for a lot of you, but it has literally made my entire career, okay? And it's live booking games. Live booking games. The very first training that you will find in this group, February 2019, when I created this group, and I saw the struggle in the community of people not being able to book parties. And there was posts in all of our community groups. Does anybody know a not effective way to book parties? Everybody's saying no to me, blah, 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 right? That was my very first training. And I taught bingo. Who was here long enough? I don't know if anybody's on here that was here long enough, but who was here long enough to remember when I was training heavily on how to play bingo in your parties? We have a leader that Michelle Zito, she's a top leader in Park Lane. If you guys know what Park Lane is, the jewelry, really, really nice jewelry. I'm a fan, obviously. She played it, and with hers, she called it blingo, right? So she got really creative with it because obviously she sells the bling bling. So she called it blingo. And so there's a whole post on exactly what she did in this group. If you search her name, Michelle Zito, you will see some really nice posts where she explains how she was able to book her entire calendar. And by the way, what I'm teaching on the boot camp, the gift bag booking game, in addition to other strategies that I'm giving you, this is also one that she used with her entire team, and she booked like 67 parties, something insane, right? That live video is in this group as well. There's a lot of history in this group. Melissa was here. She goes, yes, I was here. And hello, your scrap papers. You guys, I literally would show up like this on my live videos with no makeup, right? Sometimes my bra straps would show. It was really like not a good look for a while. Okay, because I was a mom. I was like survival mode type of mom, you know what I mean? With little kids. And so I just showed up however. I'm like, I just need to make this happen. And I had my little bingo cards, and they weren't professional cards. I literally would take a piece of paper like this, and I would write down the numbers, and they were not even like reverse mode, so they didn't look great, but I booked parties. Right? I booked parties, and that's the point. It doesn't need to be perfect. Your live games don't need to be perfect. Live booking games are really the secret for live booking games is your energy. Okay. People are here. There's 37 people watching me now, right? It's been fluctuating from 43 to 37. People will watch you if they like you, right? You guys are okay with me yelling at you sometimes because you like me, right? And that's the same idea in your parties, okay? You have to show up with the energy. You can't show up with monotone. You can't just be like, hello, everyone. We're going to book a part. We're going to play a fun game today because it's weird, right? Just don't do that. Just don't do that. I've done it before. Trust and believe when I was super, super nervous on these things. My gosh, like, whoa, there were some bad lives. And I honestly wish I could go find them and just post them so that you guys could feel better. You guys could feel better if you saw like my previous lives. The point is you're connecting with people, right? People want to be connected. If you can connect, if you can be friendly, if you can be fun, even if it's not like your natural personality. I'm an introvert. Believe it or not, I'm an introvert at heart. So it's like I'm not somebody that, that wants to entertain. I just like to help people. I really do. I enjoy helping people, which is my biggest motivation to doing my lives. Otherwise, I would totally be the person who's never on camera, believe it or not. Believe it or not. But I've made a whole brand of going live. So now I got to go live every week. So it's like it's on brand. Like I can't like be off brand and not go live. Does that make sense? So anyway, a friend of mine ordered bingo cards off Amazon, and she would give cards to people who wins games in her VIP group, then book a party when they order. Then every 2 months she would host a live bingo night with her group. That's awesome. That's great. You see, like this is the part where you have to get creative because people will be into it. Some of you that are like, I read your comments, believe it or not. Like when we have these events, that's why I typically do 10 posts on Sunday nights and then I go live because I want to hear where your head is at. And when I have those training posts, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear like what your limiting beliefs are, what you've been struggling with, what your real opinions are on things. And you guys, it's all about just being creative. Okay. You have to get creative. People want to show up to your things. I promise you. If you're just selling, though, then it's not going to work, right? And that's the thing. It's like you're there to create connections with people. People want to connect with you. But if you're only showing up to sell your thing, then people are going to get it and they're just going to feel like, "Oh gosh, like Janet only shows up to sell her stuff," right? Example, this live that you're watching right here. Have you noticed? I'm talking to you. I'm engaging with you. I'm highlighting your comments. I'm answering questions. I'm relating to you and I'm resonating with a lot of you, right? But at the same time, I also promote my boot camp, right? You have to have that healthy mix. Tomorrow, I have a boot camp and I've interjected and I've shared, hey, by the way, a reminder, we got this going on tomorrow. You don't have to join us, but it's there. You see how I'm just giving you the offer as I'm engaging with you. If I just showed up and only talked about my boot camp and I never read your comments and I never really engaged with you, all I wanted to do was sell my boot camp, I could have done that. But I don't want to do that. I want to answer your questions. I want to hang out with you guys. Does that make sense? This is the personality or this is the type of content that you need to be creating in your VIP groups, especially if you're not selling. Does that make sense? I remember you back in the day, but you were spot on. What you said to do works. Yay! I love reading that. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I use the playpen balls. I put numbers on them with a marker. Oh, that's awesome. I had gotten one of those little bingo cages with like the small balls from like Five Below. It was too small. I tried it though, just to be not cutting pieces of paper. Okay. Will the replay be available? It took me further to find where the live was located. Sorry. Yes, the replay will be available. If you're brand new, I know there's a bunch of y'all that are brand new here. Yes, Sundays, Typically it's 8 p.m., 10 posts, and then my live is typically at 8:30. However, tonight we're just doing it different because I didn't want to create posts, honestly. I just wanted to show up and talk to you guys. I already gave you like the booking trainings the last 2 weeks in a row, right? How to book parties like a pro, how to play live booking games. I gave you the examples. So I thought tonight I would just show up, answer your questions, and give you these 3 awesome tips. So number 1, revisit your old party groups. Just do it. You're going to thank me later. Just do it. Number 2, host a booking blitz. And if you have a downline, do it with your team. Okay. Get on a Zoom call together, right? Me and my team, 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we hop on and we do power hours together. That way, when they're on the call with me and they come across an objection and they can unmute themselves and ask me like, hey, what's the best way to say this? Or how do I, overcome this? Or how do I, create conversation off of this? How do I offer my opportunity? Whatever. That we do that 3 days a week together. So do that with your team if you have a downline. You don't have to do it 3 days a week, but pick one day, right? Pick one day out of the month before the month ends, preferably. Get together, okay, and do that, right? And just do a booking blitz. Book parties together. Do it scared together. At least you're doing it together as a team. And then the last one, live booking games, which this is exactly what I'm going to show you how to do for the next 5 days in our boot camp. So if you're brand new and you're excited, or if you've been following me for a while, you guys know that I've run these. This is probably the 3rd time that I've run this one. And I know some of you guys probably have like the replays from the old ones if you signed up before. There's just nothing better than doing it together, right? Like that's really the big deal here, is doing it live, right? You get to ask me questions. I'll be live. I'm going to give you all the things, and there's a workbook, and it's just going to be awesome. So let's do this together. So if you guys are excited, click the link above my video, go sign up. It's only $27. Okay. So it's not even that expensive. And then come hang out with me tomorrow. Okay. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. Thank you guys for just hanging out. And if you're brand new, I hope that you enjoyed the training. Feel free to search the group. Okay. Search booking games, search booking games, search bingo, search gift bag booking game. If you search those things, you're going to see a ton of testimonials, like tons of testimonials. We've literally helped hundreds and hundreds of people book parties off of these silly little games of showing up live. Okay. All right, guys, I will see you guys later, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.